To the new lecture of our series on data mining and data warehousing. In the previous lecture, we studied about the clustering basics, and now we are going to discuss a method of clustering, which is basically known as partitioning methods. So let's begin our lecture with this note. Talking about partitioning algorithm. The basic idea of the partitioning algorithm is that we intend to partition a database D consisting of n objects into a set of k clusters, and with the aim for clustering is we need to minimize the sum of square distances in a cluster. So the objects which are closer intend to stay closer and together in one cluster, and the objects which are far are usually in separate clusters. So what we do here is, suppose we have given a k, and by k we means the number of clusters. So what we do is we find a partition of k clusters which optimizes the chosen partitioning criteria. So what we do, we have k clusters and we have some chosen partitioning criteria, and based on that what we do is we classify the database of d objects, or classify the database d of n objects into the set of k clusters. So first thing is our global optimal, which exhaustively enumerate all partitions. Then we have some heuristic methods such as k-means and k-medoid algorithms. And when we're talking about k-means, where each cluster is represented by the center of the cluster, and k-medoid or PAM, basically partitioning around medioids. Here each cluster is represented by one of the objects in the cluster, usually the medioid of the cluster. So now we talk about k-means clustering algorithm. For k-means clustering algorithm, what we have is we have the value of k to be given, and the k here refers to the number of clusters. So our algorithm is implemented in 4 steps. First is we partition objects into k non-empty subsets. So after the partitioning, what we do is we compute seed points as the centroid of the cluster of current partitioning, and we refer them as mean point. So after the seed values, we compute from the partitions, and then we call it mean point. And what we do is we assign each object to the cluster which is with the nearest seed point. So after assigning the seed point, what we do is we try to identify or map the objects nearby to that seed point, and we assign them to the same cluster as the seed point. And after that what we do is we go back to the step 2 and keep on repeating the same step until or unless we find that the assignment that we are doing in the phases is not changing. So the algorithm iteration stops at a point where there is no change in the previous and the current output. So take an example of k-means clustering. Here we have an initial data set with given some points, and what we do is we arbitrarily partition objects into k groups. By k we here refer to 2. So you can see two signs basically, and these signs represent two groups. Now what we do is we update the cluster centroids. So the dark points in and the bigger circles indicate the centroids of our current cluster, and what we do is we try to reassign the objects again based on the distance of the other objects from the centroid or the cluster mean. Then what happens is the basic assembly of the cluster changes, and the points nearby to a cluster comes under the nearby the centroid comes under the same cluster. Then what we do is we again update the cluster centroid, and then again we go to the step 2 where what we do is we try to reassign the objects, and this process continues until there is no change in the update method of the cluster centroids. So This is the algorithm in which the k-means works, and usually distance measure such as Euclidean distance is taken for k-means clustering. Now we'll talk about the comment on the k-mean method. Firstly, if we talk about the efficiency of k-means, its complexity is order of tkn, where n refers to the number of objects, k refers to the number of cluster, and t depends on the number of iterations. And in general case, the values of t and k are very less as compared to n. But the basic problem that k-means suffer is it usually terminates at a local optimal. And talking about the weaknesses of k-means, it is applicable only to objects in a continuous and dimensional space, and using the k-modes method for categorical data is preferred as compared to k-means, and in comparison to k-means, k-medioid can be applied to a wide range of data, and the limitations might be that we need to specify k, basically the number of cluster, in advance, and there are some ways to automatically determine the best k, but at the start of the process it's quite difficult to identify the best k suitable for our dataset. Furthermore, it is sensitive to noisy data or an outlier, since just a big value can deviate all the values around it. So it is sensitive to noisy data and outlier. Furthermore, it is not suitable to discover cluster with non-convex shapes, since the nature of the k-means clustering is to determine the clusters of spherical shapes only. So as far as the non-convex shapes are concerned, k-means is not a good idea for non-convex shapes. Now we talk about the problem of k-means method. Firstly, it is sensitive to outliers. So since an object with an extremely large value may substantially distort the distribution of data, so k-means does not perform well when there is an outlier or noise involved in the data. Furthermore, if we talk about k-medioid, instead of taking the mean value of the object in a cluster as a reference point, medians can be used. And why medians? Because median is usually the most centrally located object in the cluster. So what it does is it is not affected much by the extremely large value which was earlier the point, and it performs well as compared to k-means. This is an example showing what happens usually when we apply our algorithm. Now we talk about partitioning around medioids. Basically, a typical k-medioid algorithm. So our first step is the same. If we initially choose k objects as initial medioids, and what we do is we assign each remaining object to the nearest medioid. That is the same step which we were doing in the previous example, but here instead of mean we are using the medioid value. And then what we do is we randomly select a non-medioid object and compute the total cost of swapping. If by swapping the quality is improved, then what we do is we do the swap, and if the quality is not improving, then we cancel the swap and let the object be remaining in the same cluster. So this process is repeated until there is no change in the previous and the current state, and on the getting the same results, what we do is we stop the iterations and the result is generated. The k-medioid clustering methods. What it does, it finds the representative objects or medioids in cluster, and partitioning around medioid or k-medioids basically starts from an initial set of medioids and iteratively replaces one of the medioid by one of the non-medioid to find if it improves the total distance of the resulting cluster. So if it is better, then it is replaced, and if it is not better, then it is ignored. And PAM usually works effectively for small data set, but it does not scale well for large data set. because of the computational complexity involved at each step. And if we talk about some efficiency improvement on PAM, we have the two algorithms basically, Clara and Clarence. And PAM is basically what? Clara is basically PAM on samples. So instead of whole of database, what we do here in Clara is we basically take the samples and we perform PAM on samples. So this is Clara. And by samples we mean that we are trying to reduce the size of the database in order to reduce the computational complexity involved. While talking about Clarence, what we do is we are doing randomized resampling and trying to reduce the size of the database while performing PAN. So what it does is it furthermore improves the efficiency of Clarence in comparison to Clara. With this, we come to our end of this lecture, and I hope you must have understood what partitioning algorithms are and what are the advantages and disadvantages of using k-means and k-medioids. In case of any queries, you can mail me at utsav@gwca.ac.in. Thank you for your time and support. Keep studying. Thank you.